The two-day training, supported by the Ministry of Youth and Sports, underscores SJAG's commitment to fostering professionalism and accountability in sports reporting. The program's opening ceremony was attended by prominent figures from the Gambian media and sports sector, highlighting the significance of this intervention. In his address, Omar Jajo, the president of SJAG, emphasized the vital role financial literacy plays in sports journalism. He stressed that equipping sports journalists with financial literacy not only enhances the quality of reporting but also contributes to transparency within the sports industry.
We go to AGMs, an accountant will give his financial report or her financial report or statement. But do we understand what the individual says? Because we owe it to the public to inform them adequately and very, very clearly of what transpires at AGMs and congresses. So as journalists, we need to understand the financial terminologies. We need to understand how do we talk to our people about Omar Jajo, who stands at an AGM or a Congress and talk about the expenses and talk about the deficits and talk about everything that has to do with finances. A lot of AGMs have passed, a lot of Congresses have passed. We just report or talk about statements by the secretaries or by the presidents. Maybe we can, sometimes what we do is talk briefly about $60 million have been spent on table preparation or decoration.
In his remark, Bakari Waibaje, the Minister of Youth and Sports, lauded SJAG for spearheading such an impactful initiative. He expressed optimism that the training will empower participants to produce analytic reports that scrutinize budgets, uncover discrepancies, and shine a light on financial health of sports organizations.
Of course, we also know that we have, as people here, we have limitations in our reporting capacities. We have limitations in our ability to do analytical stories. And so the trainings would help. So it's good that the Sport Journalists Association's new leadership is taking that on board and working towards improving not just themselves as executive members, but the membership by extension. And today you're looking at financial reporting and budget analysis. And from the expectations of the people here, it tells us that there is so much interest in it. And for me, it's good because one of the key issues here is about accusations of people, and you know, and sometimes we don't base it on anything. It's just assumption that somebody said, oh, they had so much money they spent. But sport is so much expensive that if you are not in the administrative side, you tend to hear figures and you think, oh, you know, this cannot be possible. Why would they spend this much money? But this training, I hope, will be able to help the 20 of you that are here to be able to be ambassadors, not to defend any association or a government entity or whatsoever, but to be able to take the time to read reports and do analytical reports, stories, that if anybody gets to read, would help the person or the people to understand better.
Former SJAG President Musa Sisi and the GPU President Aissatou Keita expressed similar sentiments, acknowledging the pivotal role of financial knowledge in elevating the credibility and depth of sport journalism.
So here we are today in trying to discover something new that I want to believe that not most of us are au fait with, finance. And of course, I mean, what do we do with it? I mean, to me, I just want to applaud the new executive, Omar and his team, for thinking in a different sphere in making so that at least when we talk about numbers, because most of the time we talk about numbers and we don't understand them because we just understand the basics. But probably these kind of trainings will help us, equip us. And of course, when you talk about it next time, you are able to go to the next level and educate the public that are very much interested in what you have to say. So for me, it's just a very good.
And I am very, very proud of Omar Jajo and the executive for the fact that they've brought in this training on an area that is often overlooked, but it is very fundamental, especially when it comes to aspect of ensuring transparency and also ensuring effective sports governance. We talk about sports on a daily basis, we report on it, but also in the aspect of finances, it becomes a very crucial aspect. We often don't even look at that aspect. We only look at the pitches and then off the field and all of those things. So I think this is a very, very good move, and it is something that is worth to be very, very commended. At the Gambia Press Union, we always push and talk about the issue of capacity building, because we can't do without capacity building, especially for the fact that the media landscape is evolving on a daily basis, but we also need to change as things are changing to get ourselves acquainted with everything that we are doing on a daily basis. We don't just report the story, we go beyond the story. But how can we get beyond the story? By getting ourselves acquainted and then capacitized in most of these areas. So I think this is something that we all should actually not just sit here and listen, but then be able to ensure that after this training, we are able to report as expected of us. It might be difficult, it might be challenging, but let's try to be people that will be able to change the narrative.
Participants delve into a range of topics, including budget analysis, identifying financial irregularities, and reporting on funding within sports organizations, preparing journalists to address the financial dimensions of sports with confidence and clarity. The 2-day training program is expected to have profound impact not only in enhancing the journalistic landscape but also driving transparency and accountability in the Gambia sports sector. For Star TV, this is Omar Job.